Hello, Danny Graham, and I'm here today on my conversation. Tonight, we've got a fantastic topic. Here are my guests. First coming in, and my man Stig, parents, and pulling up the rear is Mr. Chris Knight. How y'all doing today, people?
Good.
Doing good.
Can you hear me?
Quite well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get started, just want to say thank you all for joining the chat. Today's question, I think the topic is going to be very interesting. It's one of those top 10 that I love to do. Thank you to the show. Thank you for joining the show. Before we get started, I'm going to go around and let everybody introduce themselves, tell the people where they can find you at, and whatever information you want to do to promote yourself. I'm going to start off with the lovely Mads Mama Bear. Yeah, Mads.
Hey, Mads Mama Bear here. You can find me at Mads Mama Bear on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm starting to post up some of the crafts I do. And this Thursday night, 9:30 Eastern, is going to be the Queen's Council on my channel. Do not miss it.
And next, we're going to go to Mr. Stig. How you doing, Stig?
I'm quite well. I'm not really a YouTuber. I just have a tiny YouTube channel.
He lies. He has ducks.
Oh, shut up.
I have to mention the ducks every time.
That's ducked up.
I know.
Yeah, mostly you'll find me on other people's channel as a panelist. I'm on Chris's channel quite a bit. Mary Mayhem. And yeah, I'm all over the place. Even been on the Queen's Council.
A couple times.
A king on the Queen's Council? What?
Yeah,
No,
we've had a few guys on the Queen's Council.
I'm not a Viking there. I'm a Viking.
And that's why.
Yeah.
Next is Mr. Terrence. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm all right. Yep. How you doing, humans? I'm Terrence, and you can find me nowhere, but sometimes I am on this platform.
That's a shame. We're going to talk about it on Wednesday. Where they can find you. And last but not least is Chris Knight. Tell people where they can find you at, Chris.
You can find me on, what was that?
Give him a moment. He's making himself beautiful.
Yeah, my hair is driving me nuts. Yeah, you can find me on The Real Review 3000. We're trying to get to 1,500 subscribers. We're currently at 1182. We're roaring past 1,000. It's kind of awesome. Working on having the 1,000 sub streams out because we got to get Mary Mayhem into her panda head costume or something of that sort. Anyways, but you can find me there. You can find me here occasionally. You can find me everywhere. I'm a whore. I'm slightly more expensive than the $3 hooker. No, but yeah, and you can find me doing stuff for Chaos Central's YouTube channel, like this show right here. Tomorrow we'll have the Chaos List, and on Sundays we do the Rule of Three over on my channel. So yeah,
good deal. Before we get started, I want to first apologize to Terrence and Jason Miller, who's on the chat. Yesterday, I got called into work. Something came up at work that I could not avoid, or I had to go and give my attention to. But I'm going to make that show up on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are free, please come and join me, Jason, and Terrence. We're going to just do that show that I missed this past Sunday on this Wednesday. So please catch it. It's called Equilibrium. It's me and Terrence's show, and we talk about pretty much the same thing we do on this show. With the floor, with the chat, what questions they're asking. But without further ado, we're going to get into this list today. I'm going to let Terrence go first. So he asked me if he could go first the other day. And the list basically is, what were your top failure moments whenever you went to a Marvel, DC, or sci-fi movie? Now, before we get into it, Stig is not going to be in that criteria. I think it was my fault. I didn't put that in the actual so that's my fault, my bad. But
hey, Danny.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
Yeah,
at least on my end.
Okay, it wasn't me.
All right, yeah, I know you're cutting in and out on your.
How about now? Is that better?
Well, yeah, and it wasn't like it wasn't close enough. It just was cutting in and out on the. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you occasionally doing the RoboCop thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 minute.
Translating what he was saying.
Yeah.
Stieg is a late addition to the list. So we forgot to mention that it's for us DC, Marvel, and Sci-Fi. So some of his stuff will be kind of off that list, but that's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was any movie.
I was hoping for that, but yeah,
Yeah, there's a few outside of that are still comic book, but outside of DC, Marvel that I would have added, and a lot of them were a double what the hey and hell yeah moment.
Yeah, I don't have any comic book stuff.
Does it sound better now?
it sounds fine now. We'll let you know.
Okay. All right. Technical difficulties, but again, I apologize for not sending information.
Oh,
Make honorable mentions. That's about now.
you were just cutting out again. Maybe it's your cord. You think your cord
I
might be
think it's my
going bad.
cord.
Yeah, just
How about now?
wrap it up on top of the stand. No, you're fine right now.
Yeah, I guess I should mention, Danny, that yeah, my list is kind of all over the place as well. I just kind of pulled out 10 random films.
Okay, let me tell you for future references. This is a Marvel DC channel. Why I want to talk about anything else besides Marvel, DC, or Sci-Fi? So for future reference, that's what it's going to be about.
Oh, but you're gonna let them get away with it when I wanted to do it that way.
I am, because they're guests and they're gracious. You like a brother, so no.
Do you understand what my ego hears right now? It's like,
Okay.
no, you can't.
You
Well, see,
cannot.
my thing is,
Chris.
see, Danny, I kind of
Yes, ma'am.
figured, but sometimes in life.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Chris,
I'm letting you know.
Don't argue with the man that has the ability to bounce you.
No, I will never.
Have you
bounce
seen me on streams?
I will never bounce anybody. But I'm
Have you
just saying.
Yeah.
I discussed Marvel, DC, Sci-Fi, Star Wars, that genre. But like I said, I'm going to enjoy what Stig has to say, and also Terrence and the rest of you as well. So it'll be cool. We roll with it. I am not butthurt.
I'm not either. I'm just joking around.
If I had known, I would have picked terrible moments from 10 superhero movies just to mess with Danny.
No. No.
Yeah, yeah, this is just definitely a top 10. I've seen more than 2,000 films, so I don't actually have a favorite movie or a top 10. It's really hard for me to do that. But
Okay.
it was easy for me just to come up with 10 films, though, where I had such moments that you were talking about.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go first and see what's going on.
All right, so number 10, I put Freddy versus Jason. It was the moment near the end of the movie where Freddy got snatched into the real world, and Jason saw him, and it was like Jason was just. I don't know. For some reason, it looked like he was really pissed. Like, you remember when you were fucking me up in the dream world? Now you're over here with me, and you don't have your powers. So when Freddy had that oh shit look on his face, and Jason flipped the table, I thought that was fucking badass. I was cheering, and they kind of went at it, and it was really from that moment on through the rest of the fight. I was like on my feet, and I was cheering. So that was a very precious moment for me. I'm like, yeah, now we're gonna see who's the real badass when you ain't got all these powers to help your ass out. So definitely like that a lot. Number 9, this was when I was a child. This is from the movie Small Soldiers, and it was the moment where it focused on the shop that Alan's dad owns, and the camera slowly kind of pans over the whole shop, and then it zooms in to the spot where the Commando Elite are packaged at. And once they bust out of their packages, at that point, as a kid, I remember, just jumping up and down because I actually had all the Commando Elite toys and stuff. I kind of convinced my mom to get me the toys on account of me refusing to go to the dentist, and I bargained with her the whole, I'll go if you get me the entire Commando Elite set. So that was precious to me. So I was kind of in that moment, and I was cheering for the Commando Elite. I'm like, yeah, fuck up the Gorgonites. The Gorgonites are bad, but for some reason, I realized I was wrong as a kid when Major Chip Hazard started talking about how he was going to destroy them, and I was like, oh shit! So the Commando Elite are the bad guys, and the Gorgonites are the good ones. So yeah, that was an interesting moment because I went from cheering to feeling bad, but then I went back to cheering because the Commando Elite, they just look really badass. So I was kind of conflicted in that moment as a child. Yeah, sometimes in life. My number 8 is really precious to me because it was like really close to my idea in terms of, when I started my whole mental training thing. It was at the beginning of a movie called Equilibrium, and the father figure.
Equilibrium is hell, buddy.
Yeah, and so my cousin is the one that brought that to my attention. He was like, Terrence, you remember when you were telling me about the training and stuff like that? He's like, I think I found a movie where they stole all the shit you told me about. I was like, really? And then he's like, yeah, watch this. So I'm just sitting there watching it. I'm like, oh, I sort of see what you mean. There are some similarities here. And when the father was talking to the people, and he's like, yeah, you have overcome your emotions. You're no longer controlled by it. Here's this serum called prosium. And then they inject it in their neck after so many hours to keep them, balanced, to keep the equilibrium going. And when they all stood up and cheered about being free and being stronger than the ones that came before them, I stood up and cheered in that moment. My jaw was on the ground. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Father. I mean, you stole my shit, but hey, I was just there, clapping and cheering. So, that was definitely a pretty memorable moment for me. And then number 7, I Am Legend. This is at the end of the movie when Robert Neville, Will Smith's character, when he decided to help the lady and her child. And for some reason, when that piano music kicked in, I had that what the fuck moment in theaters. And I actually said it out loud because I realized how loud I was because it was really quiet because, people were crying and shit like that. It's actually one of the only movies that I've ever remembered where the majority of the audience had the hands over their mouths and were crying like the majority of the movie. So when he told them, get in there, I'll take care of this. And they're like, no, come in. He's like, no, I got to do this. I was like, Robert, fuck the lady and the kid. Fuck them. You get in there, let them die. Let the little vampire zombie creatures fuck them up. So that was my what the fuck moment. And then when it was the way that Will Smith was acting and the tears were coming down and that shit was like crashing his head against the glass. It was just like a painful moment. Like I felt like I was in the situation and I had the grenade. And when he blew himself up, I died in the theater right there. I don't even remember the rest of the movie because that's where I died.
Did you know that they shot a different scene, a different ending to that?
Yeah, the alternate ending.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting, but I didn't actually like that one, even though I had the what the fuck moment, the whole them coming to get the female, and they're like, okay, yeah, now it's time for us to walk away. I'm like, that's interesting, but it doesn't have the same level of intensity that I had that what the fuck moment when he blew himself up.
Oh no.
And then it made it worse when I saw the woman and her child. They were driving, the sun was shining. There was a whole community of humans just baking cakes and shit. I'm like, no.
And then there was no guarantee that there was somebody that could take his formula and actually make it. That's what pissed me off about that.
They're like, oh, that's the secret ingredient I've been looking for my secret chocolate surprise cake.
It killed. Like it was one of those things where like the movie to me was really good, but it'd have been great if that ending wouldn't have happened. Because if I was in charge, I would have wrote it like, he blew himself up, and then it was just like the lady and the kid, they were just out alone, and you just kind of hear his voiceover that he was saying the whole movie, like, I'm Robert Neville, I have food and supplies if anybody's out there. And then you just show a world full of those vampire zombie creatures. There's no hope. He's dead. No one can cure nothing. Like, this lady and her child are now out there alone. At least before they had Robert Neville, and they're gonna die. That's how it would have ended. The whole community thing pissed me off. So that was a what the fuck moment for sure.
This is why Terrence doesn't write romance.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, in that, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, in that kind of movie, I didn't want to see romance. I thought that it was horribly misplaced, and it took away the intensity of the movie. Like, it was a very poor choice from a writing standpoint.
I have a movie that I've seen that I will recommend to you because it's got the not traditional happy ending that I know you would love. So I later on I will recommend it to you.
Okay, so
I know the screenwriter.
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to romance movies, before I move on, as a genre, I don't like it. Like, if you gave me 100 romance movies out of the 100, I might like 10, and that would solely depend on not only who's in the movie but what the story is. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sad ending. It's a romance movie. The guy's supposed to get the girl, whatever the fuck's supposed to happen. So there's obvious things.
Terrence, my idea of a chick flick is 300.
What?
that is not a chick flick, but
300 guys in leather speedos. Hell yeah, it's a chick flick.
And they're all holding their spears.
That's a dick flick.
But yeah, I disagree. But when it comes to romance movies, like I said, I don't really care for them. But sometimes, I can like a couple of them.
I'm messing with you, darling.
I know. Okay. Let's see. So number 6. I actually put my hands on my head because I was surprised by this. This was a moment in Fast 5 when Dwayne Johnson appeared on screen for the first time. He was so fucking huge. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was me and my 3 friends, and we kind of all said it together because we grew up watching Dwayne Johnson in WWF wrestling. And he was fucking big over there, but it's just he was so much noticeably bigger. It was like, he's going to kill Dominic Toretto and his entire family. This is the final Fast and the Furious movie. They are all done. Like, if Dwayne Johnson like twitches his left pectoral muscle, these characters are dead as fuck. That's what I was thinking. So I definitely had that what the fuck moment for like the longest time. And also I think that's the best of the franchise. I love the majority of them. Tokyo Drift was the only one that I didn't care for. I liked the 3 main characters of the movie, but I felt like they should be ejected from that movie and placed with the main characters with better writing. So yeah,
I've actually seen none of those movies.
What?
The whole series, never seen a single one.
Yes, me and Stig definitely talked about that at length, and I think I had a mild heart attack during said discussion.
Yeah, he hasn't spoken to me since.
Hey, Stig, we actually did have like, I think, a 10-hour conversation, did we not?
I think it was more like 4.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
10. I guess I must imagine the rest.
You want 10, but that ain't gonna happen.
Maybe you kept talking after I left. I don't know.
You know, Danny, it's gonna happen one day. It will.
You know something, Terrence? I'm gonna do it. So I'd be the one to do it.
Yeah, see, like, because so far Perp is the only one that has actually gone beyond that. He did 11 hours, so.
Oh, well, I'm not doing 12.
Oh, well, you have to do 12. I mean, 10.
If I had 12 hours, I'd go ahead and do it.
Hey, Chris, I appreciate that. I mean, you got the kids and stuff. Wait a minute, Danny has them too, so like that shouldn't be happening. Look,
if I had 112 hours, I ain't doing no damn 12 hours.
Hey, as long as you got a conversationalist like Terrence with you to talk about good stuff, hey, come on.
Yeah, it'll pass by quicker than you think.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
Terrence is always fun to talk to.
I don't mind talking, but not no 12 hours. That ain't happening.
Well, no, it's just more like 10. Like,
nope.
I'm trying to be reasonable about that.
3 is what I'm prepared to give.
Now, do you feel like it would extend to 4, or you feel like that's definitely too much?
No, that's too much.
Man, all right. Let me
yeah, let's get back to the list.
All right, let's get back to the list. All right, let me see. The wind kind of took it away when I was talking. It was like, you bastard.
Sorry, darling.
All right, so number 5 is Bride of Frankenstein, and this was the moment. It was like near the end of the movie where
That's a good movie. Why are you chuckling?
Oh God.
Go on. It was a good movie.
I'm just laughing. I'm laughing at a private joke. That's all.
All right. Go on.
I'm listening, Terrence. Terrence.
You're muted, Terrence.
You're muted, Terrence. If you can see us, you're muted. Earth to Terrence. You're muted, bro. Let me see if I can text him. Will it pop up?
Yo, you guys hear me?
Yeah. Now we can.
Sorry about that. I definitely got interrupted by a human, so that was horrible.
Last thing you said we caught was Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh yeah. So it was the moment where, pretty much near the ending of the movie, I say like last 15 minutes or so, but when they made Frankenstein a bride, and Frankenstein was happy. He was like, "Look, I'm not gonna fuck nobody else up if you guys can promise me a mate. Everything gonna be fine in the world. These humans that ran me out, they didn't burn me, they did all kinds of horrible stuff. But if I can get me a girl, oh man, I'll leave everybody alone. I won't snap no more necks." Scene transition. He's just like looking forward to it. He just like grabs her hand and he's just gently caressing it. She looks up at him and she screams her fucking lungs out in his face. I had a what the fuck moment because I was like, man, that's fucked up. I was like, come on, you gonna do that to my boy? So at that point, I wanted him to kill everybody. I was like, fuck all these characters. None of them deserve to live. I want my boy to have some happiness. The only way he's gonna be happy is to kill everybody on screen and then go back to that blind man that was kind to him in the woods. So yeah, that was definitely a what the fuck moment for sure. But I definitely love that movie. That's a great film right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then that was my number 5. So number 4, this was when I was a kid. Very precious moment. I want to say this is towards the beginning of the movie when the Power Rangers are introduced to Ivan Ooze for the first time. Now, Ivan Ooze was pretending to be a human, and then he revealed himself as being Ivan Ooze, and then, the Power Rangers freaking out and shit. And then Ivan Ooze was like, "Oh, so you don't know who I am, huh? Well, by the way, I'm Ivan Ooze." And then Tommy just looked at him with the most intense face that any teenager had. And he was like, "You don't know who we are either. We're the Power Rangers." And then Ivan Ooze, he just started laughing. He was like, "Where's my autograph?" Power Rangers. And I was just rolling. I was just clapping. And then sure enough, he got his henchmen to come out. He leaves. They start fighting. They're doing okay, but eventually their backs against the wall. And this moment, this is when I lost my shit as a kid. When Tommy was like, "It's morphin' time!" Like, yo, I stood up. I stood up and I started morphing too. Like,
oh my god!
Like, I stood up and I morphed with them. Man, I didn't even have an outfit or nothing, but it felt like I was in that moment and we were all fighting together. It was great.
I can see that in my mind too, boy.
Yes, it's the power of Terrence.
Use the Purple Ranger, Terrence.
Hey, I don't know. I said it's morphin' time, and then I was Terrence. Like it just happened like real quick, and I'm telling you.
I believe that actually. I really do.
Oh shit.
Yep. So yeah, that was that was very precious.
Mm. Okay.
All right. So yeah, that was my number 4. So number 3, this is in the middle of the movie, Gladiator. Oh man, Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix. It was after Russell Crowe's character, Maximus Decimus Aurelius, had whooped some ass and he had his helmet on, and then he starts walking away, and Commodus, played by Joaquin Phoenix, he's like, "Slave, how dare you show your back to me? Turn around, slave!" And then he stops, turns around, removes his helmet. He's like, "My name is Maximus Decimus Aurelius, and I will have my vengeance." Right? So at this point, the crowd just starts kind of going crazy. And even Commodus's guards, they just look at each other and they move to the side. And they let him walk away. And Commodus's face was just like, what the fuck just happened? That was like a what the fuck moment for me, but in a good way. I was like, Maximus, I will be so happy if you kill this motherfucker in front of everybody, because there's some nasty shit going on with Commodus and his sister. He needs to die. Like, he's done a lot of fucked up shit in this movie, some of which I could see. Then the stuff I couldn't see, I just was imagining. I'm like, this is a grimy, shady ass fucking villain, and I don't like him. And usually I like the villains, but him, I was like, I want him to die. Like, so to me, that was like a really beast moment to see Maximus do that, just to stand up to the king and go, "Yeah, I'm about to fuck your ass up before this movie is over," and just walk off like beast. It's amazing.
Hmm?
I'm with you.
Okay. So number 2, Blade 1. When when Blade is, you remember in the beginning of the movie when they had the whole blood rave thing, and the vampires were like dancing, and then the blood started coming down from the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like once that happens and they're like all dancing, the blood's coming down, they're having a good time, and that one white guy's there and he's about to get his shit wrecked, and all of a sudden the blood stops, and then you see it just kind of drying up slowly, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's crawling for dear life. He's like in all the pools of the blood, and then he like grabs onto a boot. He looks up and it's just like Blade just standing there. And then the vampires, like, you notice that they notice when that dude notices, and they're not really smiling anymore like how they used to. They was like, "Oh shit, is yo yo Jimmy, is that Blade over there? Hell yeah, that's him. Oh shit." Yep. So I had the what the fuck moment, but it was in a good way. I was just like, damn, like there ain't gonna be no survivors in this club. Like, no survivors. Oh boy, they done fucked up tonight, man. I bet you they wish they were anything but vampires that night. So yeah, it was amazing, and so yeah, that was definitely a applaud. Like, man, that's when I knew that like this is gonna be a successful Marvel movie, because the ones before that were trash. But I was like, this is the one. It was because of that scene. I didn't even need to see the rest of the movie, which of course I ended up watching the rest. But it was like just from that one scene, I was like, now this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, Marvel, and it was just great. So, um, then my number 1. Oh, okay. Now this is a moment that was introduced to me by my uncle, who passed away some years ago. Like, he had a large collection of martial arts movies and action movies. Just, he had like all the VHS tapes and stuff, and we would always watch like action movies, martial arts movies, and professional wrestling together. That was our thing. It was just like a badass fucking weekend when I was chilling with my uncle. So, Enter the Dragon. It was in the middle of the movie, and Bruce Lee was, sending out the details about the island. The dude with the metal hand Han, he had been fucking up. He's been recruiting martial artists, and they like fighting and shit on the island. There's all these junkies and shit. You need to send like some military personnel over there to start wrecking shit. But then I was like, man, I wonder what this guy's gonna do. He's by himself. Now bear in mind, I didn't know nothing about no Bruce Lee at that time. I saw this Chinese guy and he looked serious. So I was like, okay, the alarm is going off. And when he started fucking up them guards just with ease, I had the what the fuck moment as a child because how quick he was, and he had so many muscles. That shit was fucking crazy. He was like more shredded than shredded cheese. This motherfucker had muscles for days. And I was like, if they shoot him, it's probably not gonna do nothing. The bullet is probably gonna get close to him and then run away and then go back to the person that fired it to begin with and kill that person. That's what I was thinking. And it was just a great moment, just him doing that whole fight scene. And when he broke out with them nunchucks, I was looking at that dude. Are you seriously gonna try to fight him? Did you not see that he took out like 80 henchmen before you? What are you gonna do about it? And even he had some doubt. So like, I thought that was great. He was like, I probably shouldn't attack this dude, but because, and then he tried to, and then Bruce Lee fucked his ass up. So I think that was the moment where I became like a legitimate Bruce Lee fan. Like it was great.
Okay.
So in terms of honorable mentions, I have like 2,000 of them, but we ain't gonna have time to get into all of them. But I'll say this though, real quick with the honorable mentions. One of them is Avengers 1, and that was near the end of the movie when the Avengers assembled together on screen for the first time, and they were playing that fucking music. And then like all the heroes are just there. Like, yo, I lost my mind. I stood up in the theater and I was clapping. My friends joined me. I think some other humans joined too, because it's just we were all feeling that. That energy was fucking crazy. I'm like, these T'Chari, I know they got this endless army, but they are about to get their shit wrecked. Like they don't even have to close that hole. Like they're getting their shit wrecked. So there's that. And then the Dark Knight Rises, where Bane, where he broke Batman's back. Like I was actually the only one in the theater that was cheering for that because everybody else was they were just quiet. It was just like, oh, you think darkness is your ally. It was just the whole entire feel of the character, just the way he was talking, and when he broke Batman's mask on his face and snapped his back, I'm like, this is the best villain I've ever seen. Like he just dealt with Batman like he was a child. Like the best fighter that I've ever seen in the DC universe. He just dealt with him like he was a child or something. I'm like, this scene is fucking awesome. So yeah, I mean, there's so many others, but that's all I gotta say.
That is a fantastic list, Terrence.
Yeah, it was epic.
Yep.
Epically described as well. Made me want to watch all of them.
I'm going to let Mr. Knight go next.
What?
Yes. Now, let's try to keep it a little bit more because that's 34 minutes on the first person. At that rate, we're going to be on here for 3 hours, and that shit ain't happening tonight.
See, listen to. Okay. Yeah. We'll go real simple. I have one honorable mention, but we'll wait till the end for that one. Number 10, Batman versus Superman. Superman dies, and seeing Robin's costume with all the tagging on it. I didn't read up a lot about this movie before it came out, so seeing Superman die on screen was kind of a different thing to see, and I found that kind of like, oh wow, they're gonna do this. And I was it wasn't like, didn't bother me, it just I didn't expect to see it in that movie at that moment. I figured they'd do their own Superman movie where it would happen, but the really crazy moment was when I first saw it. I saw it, and then when I finally bought the DVD, I went to that part and I paused it to read all the tagging on Robin's costume, but it was really neat to see Robin's costume in the Batcave as a reminder of what Bruce Wayne or Batman is there for. And it just seeing that in film finally was a real big thing, because this is a comic book thing. It's happened in the animated series stuff, but not in the movies. So the sheer acknowledgement of this in that movie was really a wow moment for me. Number 9, the destruction scene in Independence Day. Just we've seen it a billion times since that moment, but you're destroying iconic landmarks, the White House, Jefferson Memorial, Washington Memorial, all these places that I've been to, these things that you've seen. This movie doesn't even think twice. It's just boom, gone. And that was a real big holy shit. I mean, and yeah, it's a movie, it's not real, but to see it and make it, when they made it look as real as they made it look, it was like, wow, that was crazy. Number 8, the snap, Infinity War. I knew that they were going to do something. I knew they were going to kill a lot of people off. But as you're really getting into it and it's explaining what he wants to do in the movie, and that he wants to wipe out half of life in the universe, I'm thinking, no, they're not going to do that. He's not going to succeed at that. I mean, I knew something was going to happen, but I figured that it was supposed to be a 2-part movie at all times. So I didn't think that would be how they stopped it, or that's how they ended it. And when they did that, it's like, wow, they did it. Now, Endgame totally destroys anything they did with Infinity War, because it just, why did we do it in this movie and give you this OMG moment just to take it away in the next movie? It was like, interesting.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. That shouldn't have happened. That doesn't happen in the comics either.
No. Number 7, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Indy's father being shot.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You don't think they're going to do that. Here, this is a character who is not in all the movies, but you latch on to Indy's father so quick in that movie, because now you understand more about Indiana Jones and where he came from, what he's about. And you, when you see them there and they're just now starting to, kind of work together by that point, his father, kind of shows some emotion towards it, the thought that he died. And you could also say, when you think that Indy might have been dead, but we all knew he wasn't dead. The movie wasn't over, nowhere near it. So I never thought he was dead. So, but when they shot Indy's dad, that was a moment of, whoa, what the hell? Just the sheer thought that, they would do that. It was really an OMG moment. Number 6, Back to the Future 3, destroying the DeLorean.
Yeah, I remember
I just, when I saw that, it was like, you watch that in the movie and you're sitting there going like, this is it. This is the end of this. They're not going to make another one of these, because even though they show you the train, and even though lots of people are like, oh, wow, now they got the train, they could do it, they could keep going. You knew they weren't going to, because the DeLorean is what was the time machine. That time machine was in every one of those. And it just was kind of when that happened, you knew it was over.
I've thought about that too from time to time.
Yeah. But I just felt like it's over. So yeah. Number 5, much like that, but it wasn't a scene that made it over. It was just the sheer fact that they did it. Star Trek 3, the destruction of the NCC 1701, the original Enterprise.
Yeah,
we watched. Anybody who's a Star Trek fan had watched the episodes on TV. Mm-hmm. You have watched all the movies up to this point. And the Enterprise is the only Enterprise up until this point. And then they just destroy it. They literally have stolen this the ship, and then the only way that they know they can actually survive is to destroy it. And just all the implications that go along with that. They have now not only violated so many things of Starfleet Command rules and laws and all this stuff, and they just killed Klingons, which is against the Prime Directive, and all this other stuff. It's just the implications of that one scene is so huge in the Star Trek universe.
Yeah.
So that was an OMG moment.
Chris, if I may say real quick, when it comes to Star Trek, I can spend many hours talking about the different shows and movies and how they impacted me, because those properties are very intellectual in a way that we don't get from the majority of the entertainment. Like, there are plenty of moments where I had to stop and think or actually look up words to learn the meaning. So I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah. Then let's see here. Number 4, the cliffhanger at the end of Inception. You learn about these talisman that they make, and you learn what they're for. It keeps them knowing what's real and what's not. And so they make a pretty big deal of this. You get to the end of Inception, and he spins his little talisman, and boom, they don't even show you what happens. You have to sit there and think, did I hear it stop? Did I see it? Was it really wobbling, or was it just, just a little shudder? It really was like, holy crap, they're not going to give us an answer. I mean, I could go several other ones that kind of fall in that, but that one's more sci-fi than the other two that I can think of. That's one of them's another Leonardo DiCaprio, which is Shutter Island, and then Identity with oh shoot, now what's his name? Oh God, Gross Point Blank.
Patrick Swayze.
No. Gross Point Blank.
Keanu Reeves.
No, John Cusack. John Cusack's in Identity, and it's those two have really good endings, but they're very similar to each other. Number 3, just in general, Matrix, Bullet Time. We hadn't seen that before. The way they handled that movie, the things they showed us in that movie were so freaking awesome. There were so many moments in that movie. You're like, holy crap, this is awesome. And then they just went and totally just subverted expectations royally in the second and the third one. What they did with the first one was amazing, and then they just lost their ability to tell a story, I guess. But
you're right, Chris, because the sequels were really all about making money, as to where the first one was about passion and intelligence, and really putting a lot of stuff in the face of humans that they choose to ignore on a daily basis. There was a lot of philosophical stuff in the first movie.
Yeah. So I mean, Bullet Time and the first movie in general had, like I said, a lot of OMG moments.
The name of the movie was Bullet Time?
It was The Matrix, but the way they did the slow motion scenes in there, that was called Bullet Time.
I got you.
That was the terminology they used for it. And since that time, they use it in little short bits and pieces in a lot of different movies now, and it's just it's a part of movies now. Back then it was not. So, and number 2, multiple parts of Star Trek 2. First off, they kill Kirk's son. This man learns that he has a son in this movie, and then they kill him.
Gone.
And that's the thing. That's a stuck in my head moment. God, that right there. The whole movie, in fact, and this is what I love about the original Star Trek movies, is they for the non-viewer of the TV series, they helped you by showing you things from the TV series. They hand shook with the TV series very well. And especially that movie. That movie was just excellent. The way it's just like a long episode that would be at the next part of that episode from the original series. Very well done. But then the big moment in the whole thing is when Spock dies. You don't kill one of your three main characters, because if you ask me, your three main characters in Star Trek really overall, and the way it's always framed, is the three best friends are Spock, McCoy, and Kirk.
Yeah,
you kill one of those guys off, not just. I mean, okay, so 3 years later, whatever it was with Star Trek 3, okay, they take that out of the equation, but the way they did do this, and yes, it had the setup in it from the get-go that he could come back, but you didn't think about that. Put it this way: you have an actress, Christy Allen, who's playing a Vulcan, and she couldn't even keep her face straight for the end of that movie. She was crying when they were doing the funeral for Spock, and she's supposed to be a Vulcan.
Yep.
That's how strong that moment was, even for the actors. When William Shatner delivered his piece in there, and he was cracking up, or cracking and crying when he was talking, everybody who was on set said that wasn't acting, that was reality, because they didn't know what was going to happen next. I don't think that they had told anybody they were going to bring him back, and it really was a wow.
That's what made it real. But we didn't know that when we were watching it. We found out after that, like, oh shit, that wasn't part of how it was supposed to be. Yeah.
But it was done better than how they did in-game. In-game, oh, we'll just fix it with time. No. The way they handled it in that made more sense.
Yeah.
There was a process to him coming back.
Absolutely.
There was a real tangible belief in science within the universe that made sense for that. And then number one, I can't get past this, so I always think it's going to be my number one. The Empire Strikes Back, I'm Your Father. You have to, what was that?
It's one of the most iconic.
Yeah.
With the moment.
The reason why I put it number one is simply to the point of, even to this day, it's still unfathomable that they were able to keep that a secret. Mm-hmm. Mark Hamill didn't know about it until, I think, either right after they shot the scene or right before, maybe, or maybe not at all. I can't remember what I've heard. Nobody else on set knew about it, I think, except, and like I said, Mark Hamill might have just found out about it, so the way he reacted.
No, they lied. They said,
well, the David Prowse said, I killed your father.
Was that Obi-Wan did it?
Oh yeah, Obi-Wan. That's right. Yeah, no, that's right. But I think they did. And I had to go back and look at the interviews. I think Mark Hamill said that right before they shot the scene, George Lucas pulled him aside and said, now he's going to say Obi-Wan killed your father, but what the real line is going to be is, I am your father. And that they did that to get the right reaction from him.
Yeah.
And so he was the only one in him, James Earl Jones, and George Lucas were the only three that knew until we all saw it in the movie theaters. And the sheer fact of the ability to keep that quiet. In fact, they were handing out pamphlets, and I think, if I remember, I heard that before the film came out, and I was too little to remember if they did it or not. Before the film came out, I think some theaters were playing not a trailer, but they would play a quick video from George Lucas or somebody that said, after you see this movie, do not talk about it. Because they were, even when the movie was out, they were trying to save that moment for when you got there to see the movie. And to think of the implications of how hard that would be even back then to do, and the fact that they did it. And then you think about the sheer calamity that something like The Rise of Skywalker was, where the whole damn thing was out before the movie came out. That's the thing. That's the difference between George Lucas Star Wars and Disney Star Wars.
Well, also the times are different too. Like, I mean, everything gets leaked, and by that I mean only sometimes. A lot of stuff they allow to get
Yes,
out
exactly.
and say that oh, we didn't mean it, but they were just doing that to get early reactions to see what they should keep and get rid of.
Exactly. No, and that's that's the thing.
To get early.
Yeah. So but that's my top 10, and my honorable mention is Soylent Green is People.
Huh?
Soylent Green. Have you never seen Soylent Green? Wait. If you've never seen that movie,
You just gave a big spoiler there.
You just spoiled the whole damn thing, man.
I know I did.
I was gonna watch it tomorrow.
Hey, if you don't know there's going to be spoilers in this, I'm sorry. If you've never seen that movie, I mean, it's a one watcher. I mean, I can't watch the whole thing again. Really, I mean, I might have seen it 2 or 3 full times all the way through, but the first time I did see that, well, yeah, you just don't quite get the implications of that. I mean, and then you throw in current events, it's like, how far would government go to do something, so. But that's my list.
Okay, that's not a bad list.
Well, thank you,
Mr. Stig. You are next.
Yeah, well, I have all kinds of movies because it's on me because the group chat is called 10 Wow Moments in Comic and Sci-Fi Movies, so I didn't see that. I didn't see it. Sorry about that. So I have 10 wow moments from any movie.
What's up, Sean?
What's going on?
Hi, Stackhouse.
Sorry, I'm late. I didn't. I noticed it was getting close to 8:00. I didn't see the invite, so I did my own thing about the Ezra Miller thing, and then Chris started sending me emails, so I cut my stream short to be here for you guys.
Great. I'm glad you're here. Okay, Stieg.
Yeah. Okay. In no particular order. First wow moment is in Braveheart when Mel Gibson, after his girlfriend has been killed, returns to the village, riding in slow motion, hands behind his head, and pulls the sword. Because then shit's about to happen, and it does, big time. Second one is in Revenge of the Sith, when basically Anakin is screaming at Padme on Mustafar, and he turns to his side a bit and sees Kenobi standing in the doorway of the ship, because Kenobi's there to basically beat the shit out of him. It's just a little. It's kind of like a quiet shot of him just standing there.
In that point in the time, Stig, was Kenobi stronger than him, or were they about equal power levels?
Pretty much equal, but Kenobi was more balanced. Anakin had gone ape shit, so.
Okay.
Third one is in Jaws, when the Boy Scout leader gets attacked. Right before, you see a shot of the shark from the side, see the fins of the shark, and you realize, holy shit, this is how big it is. Because you never quite know how big the shark is before that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, when I first watched it was, wow.
Real quick before, I'm sorry, Steve. Danny, would you call Jaws a sci-fi?
No, I told you that at the beginning of the movie that he didn't get the correct.
I understand that, but I thought about using that because in reality,
it's a horror movie.
It is a horror movie, but it is a big shark.
I think it's one of those fine lines.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't use it because of I was kind of guessing where it would fall, but I was just asking Danny if he would have counted that. But you say no, so that's fine.
But how did the shark get that big? Was it something
that you
experiment or something, or he just grew big as hell?
They never really explained that.
Yeah,
so it's just a big shark.
Yeah, it's just A real big shark. So that's the difference, I think. I'm sorry, Steve.
They do have some huge sharks in real life. I mean,
Yeah.
Not that huge without going into the megalodon territory, and
Exactly.
but we've seen it before though.
Yeah, they're not that far behind. Actually, the biggest ones, they're actually not that far off.
Yeah. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah. Fourth one, and you're going to be proud of me, Danny, because I came up with one from a comic book movie, and it's not a pansy one either.
Okay.
It's from Kick-Ass, the hallway scene with Hit Girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Shoots the shit out of all those henchmen. I was like, holy crap, this girl is 10. You know?
Mhm.
That one was awesome. Completely awesome.
I love that
number
movie.
5. The ending to Rambo 4 when he gets a hold of that big gun at the back of the truck. I was cheering for him, and there were body parts flying, and he killed the country.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't think he'd do the whole country, but he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody hears about Burma anymore.
Nah, you don't.
Definitely
not. Number 6, the truck chase scene in Indiana Jones 1. I thought that was a perfect, chase scene. People getting tossed off the truck. Indiana Jones get tossed under it and has to get back in. Some humor in there as well, and a lot of ass kicking. I just love the moment, the whole sequence, really. Number 7, the Order 66 sequence in Star Wars Episode 3, when all the Jedis I'd been reading about in comics up until then gets killed off, and Anakin kills the younglings, and the music, everything was just perfectly done for that one.
If I can say something about that, I think the big thing in that, why it was such a wow moment, is exactly what you said, the younglings.
Yeah.
Even being
shit.
Yeah, even being, they don't even show it, but just know when the kid looks up.
But they show him shooting down that teenager on Jedi. That was kind of cringeworthy.
Yeah,
that was George Lucas's son.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought it was beautiful, because how are you supposed to convince the audience that someone is evil if they don't do the things that make everybody else uncomfortable? You have to.
But that's why right there is that you it's happening, and then later on when Obi-Wan says, and the younglings, and he's starting to cry almost, it's like, for Star Wars, and that even George Lucas's Star Wars, that's pretty damn cold. And
was I the only one cheering for that scene? What the hell is going on?
I love that. I love that whole movie. That movie was perfectly done.
I can't stand that movie, but I like that moment though.
I love that movie. But hey, Steve, that was you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and for me, I'd been and a lot of other people have been invested in the expanded universe, which had all these Jedis in a pile of comics and novels and stuff. And all of a sudden, their stories come to a very sudden end, and you just see it almost like a collage or something on screen.
Oh, Stig, thank you again for that wonderful conversation where you were talking about that. That was nice.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun talking to you as well, Terrence. It was great as always. We should do it again. Where was I? That was number 7. Number 8, and this is probably one of my favorite movie moments of all time. It's Val Kilmer and Michael Biehn as Doc Holliday and Ringo having their
Yep.
Val Kilmer is so quick on the gun in that one.
Oh yeah.
He shoots the guy in the brain and holsters it before the other guy even gets to his gun.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Oh yeah. That's badass. And Ringo was supposed to be the second best. Maybe even the best, but he had no chance. He wasn't even close.
I'll tell you what was good too, Stig. The one with Russell Crowe, and he fought Gene Hackman.
Yeah, Quick and the Dead.
Yeah, The Quick and the Dead.
Mhm.
That's another good one too.
Oh, that was Sharon Stone though, because I think Russell Crowe lost.
The Russell Crowe gave it up to her because I think she came back. I don't think
Yeah.
he fought. He didn't fight Gene Hackman, but I think he would have beat him.
Yeah, that's another one of those strong female leads that never gets mentioned.
Yep.
Awesome
Right, yeah.
movie. Number 9, and I think maybe Terrence will agree with me on this. It's the second fight in Rocky 3, Rocky
Yep.
versus Mr. T.
Mhm.
Yep.
The first round in that one, Mr. T doesn't even get a hit in, and
Yeah.
he goes berserk with frustration, screaming, and they have to hold him back.
Yeah.
I was laughing
Let
my
me
ass.
go. Let me go, fool.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was great. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, that was that's my favorite Rocky fight. Holy crap!
I'm gonna bust you up.
Yeah.
Pain.
10th one is it's more of a humorous thing though, but it's I can never get it out of my head. It's from Lethal Weapon 2,
Huh.
the condom commercial.
Yeah.
The
That's right. Yep.
I don't understand it, man. The guys at the department, and he's
Yeah,
just you're like,
the,
"Oh, shit. I know
yeah.
what happened."
the carpenter guy says it made me want to go buy condoms right away.
Yeah.
And Danny Glover turns and looks at him, and that look, you know, that he means murder. And he says, "Leave. I have a gun."
Right.
That
Yeah,
one,
they look so happy about it too.
Yeah. The boyfriend.
Yeah.
And whatever his name is, Eric or whatever, he's like,
It was Chris
leave.
Rock, wasn't
No,
No,
no.
that was
That's
in
Lethal Weapon
number
4.
4.
Yeah. No, but the boyfriend of that movie, Eric, leave now. But Mr.
And then Riggs was like, "Oh, just stay and have a beer or something," you know.
You know how most kids, how most guys are, in one ear, out the rubber.
Yeah, pretty much.
God damn. That is
Yeah, it's that.
Was
is
that
that
in the
look-
commercial?
No, that was it. That was in.
No, I
Riggs
know.
says it as they're leaving. Riggs says it as they're leaving. He says, "Well, Roger, you know how most guys down at the department are in one ear and out the rubber."
Yep.
Right, yeah.
It starts right there, and Murtaugh knows it's happening, and it's just
Yeah.
I love that scene. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's just a look on Danny Glover's face when he turns around. And
Yep.
Yeah, he has some priceless expressions in that whole franchise. Like it was just great.
Yep.
And an honorable mention is the death of Optimus Prime in Transformers the movie.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Because the whole movie, I got to see all my toys get killed.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah, so I wasn't happy about that movie.
That was definitely a wow.
That's it. That's my top 10.
Good list, Steve.
That's
I
great.
ain't not mad at it. All right, Mads, you are next.
Okay. I personally, I have no particular order outside of my very hated, which is more of a honorable mention type thing. Because most of my list is just all great scenes. Beyond that, the only one I have is if I had to narrow it down to one particular, that would be my number one, and I'll leave that one for last. Beyond that, no order. My only really moment is from X-Men Last Stand, and it pains me even saying the name of that movie. Most of you guys know I hate the movie entirely, but the biggest one, the one that almost made me leave the theater, was when Phoenix killed Scott.
Okay.
That was so against what the character should do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The whole movie almost made me leave the theater.
Same here.
Yeah, Joe almost got away scot-free.
I was literally, I kid you not, cursing throughout the whole movie. And the people the friends that were there with me, they're like, "Shh, like you. I'm not gonna open this up." Beyond that, Aquaman. It's again, they're all hell yeah moments from here. Aquaman, I have two that I really liked from there. And again, this is just pure toxic female here. The permission to come aboard scene. Love that.
got you.
Yeah. Beyond that, when we see the Black Manta fight, and that's the fangirl in me. When we see him in the full mask and everything, I squeed. I really did. That was awesome.
It was a good moment.
It was a great fight, and just seeing Black Manta, I'm like,
yeah, you're right. And the second fight was better than that first one they had.
right?
No.
Chris, you look like you're trapped in another dimension.
I'm just sitting there going like, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I don't know.
Suicide Squad. Again, loved the whole movie. Really, actually did. My favorite scene, and that was a definite hell yeah, was the elevator fight. Just when she does that flip up and over, and that was all her.
Mhm.
That was a big old hell yeah, and every time I watch it, it still is.
Yeah, that's a badass scene. Yeah, when she went up there trying to escape, and she was like, bye-bye, and it just came through the window. Yeah.
Yep. And she did the up and over across the ceiling. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. This is when I know you guys are going to give me flack for. Green Lantern.
Oh God.
What depends.
I was expecting that. The movie actually, I don't hate it as much as most people. I have my reasons for liking it.
It's easily the best DC movie.
Quiet you. Quiet.
I'm just trolling.
Yeah. You know I eat trolls for breakfast. Anyway, when he's facing off against Parallax and he's doing the full oath, you get to that the Green Lantern's light. I hell yeah in theater. Yeah.
Okay.
But just the way he did it was beautiful. It was really good.
That's interesting. I think that was a cool moment.
That's a nice way of putting it, Terrence.
No, I mean, because to me, the only moment that I had what Mads is talking about was the scene where Sinestro was training Hal Jordan, and he was telling him, "You're weak. You're too controlled by your emotions." That was the only scene that I liked.
I loved the whole training scene.
The only part of that movie was when Sinestro got the yellow ring at the end. I was excited.
That was dope, and that was after the movie.
He was like the perfect cast for Sinestro.
Yep.
Yeah. He looked right out of the comic book. It was awesome.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was perfect. He's the best part of the whole movie. Is Sinestro.
Yeah. And if they wouldn't have had those god awful CGI suits, you know?
Pretty much.
It's not just that. It was the writing too.
The yellow suit looked better when he put that yellow ring on. I was like, oh yeah.
You understand something about that movie though. The sheer fact that the movie actually got made. If you hear the backstory of how many different rewrites and how many different, it was almost like if they had actually ever done what was the one that
Superman Returns?
Yeah, that Nicolas Cage was supposed to be in. I mean, and that one even was about as close as the Green Lantern movie was coming around. In fact,
that would have been better than the Green
Lantern. I don't know about that.
I do. All those battles that we would have seen Superman fighting in space, that alone would have been intriguing.
Yeah, true. But it just how they let the Green Lantern get to where it was. I mean, they could have shelved that and come up with a much better movie than that. But
they could have. I could come up with a better one in my fucking sleep.
Probably, because Terrence has read like every comic book known to man.
Yeah, I'd let him know. Smack the shit out of him. Like,
Terrence would have walked up to the director with the actual comic book and smacked the hell out of him. He was like, "You're going to learn this script by osmosis. Smack, smack, smack."
Exactly. Sir, just read this one and you will come up with a better move. Just this one.
Yep.
But was that Green Lantern movie? Wasn't that the one Jack Black was originally supposed to be in? Was that
Green Lantern?
No, I don't remember, but I think he was at one time supposed to be in a part of that or helped write part of it.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't recall that.
You will have to Google that, Chris.
Hold on.
Because this is the first I'm hearing about it.
Jack Black.
I don't want Jack Black anywhere near the DC universe.
No.
Comic books in general.
To be fair, Sean, Jack Black can play certain characters, but they would have to probably.
I think Jack Black would be a good Penguin.
I was going to say, if you said Red Rider, we would have
I was
Um,
gonna say Toy Man. I think he'd be perfect.
Toy
as
Man. Toy Man, I could see.
What's that orange
Hey.
orange ball of lantern? I keep forgetting his name.
Oh,
Will-O-Wisp.
Jack Black was supposed to be Green Lantern. Robert Smiggle.
Zemeckis.
Smiggle.
Nickel.
Okay,
Robert Smigel.
Robert Smigel, yeah. On his unmade script for a Green Lantern comedy starring Jack Black.
Now, see, here you go, comedy.
Well, no, but the thing is that was originally that was one of the impetuses that led to what we got finally. Because that's how many different things it went through, and it was so crazy. If you read the story behind what Green Lantern went through to even get on screen, it's like because at one time it was a very dark black comedy that Jack Black was going to be in, and it was like,
Jack Black.
Yeah,
I don't care for Jack Black.
Yeah, I would have had the same reaction that I did to X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying it would have been good. I'm just saying the fact
Jack
that
Black
it made
is talented. Did you see the Jumanji movies?
No, I'm with you. I do love Jack Black in his own thing, but in the whole Green Lantern, as Green Lantern, no, honey, Terrence, I would have made you blush with the stuff I would have done. Okay, I would have liked channeling you.
I don't think Jack Black would make a good Green Lantern. I don't like that at all. But he can, like I said, he can definitely play some villains in the DC universe for sure.
He should be the next Wolverine.
Yeah.
I put it in the private chat. One of the many articles you can find about it.
Jason Miller says it to you. He was supposed to play Green Lantern.
No, because after I first watched it, I can't remember what year it came out. I was like, man, this movie's got all sorts of things going wrong with it. And so I like looking at backstories behind it. And when you start reading in on that, it's like, how the hell did they even greenlight this? And like, what is it? Dark Phoenix, like Dark Phoenix, which I haven't seen yet. So I don't know what I'll really think of it, but a lot of people don't like Dark Phoenix. Well, that was, Sean was with me when we were, I think, did we go see Endgame, was it? And the
and then
trailer comes up and I'm like, wait a minute.
What?
I just read last week that's shelved. It's done. It's not coming out. And here's a damn trailer a week later. It's like, what the hell?
There were some humans booing when that trailer showed, which was surprising.
Yeah,
I
didn't
expect that.
I'm sorry, Mads. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Y'all know I've got the superpower to shut all of you up at the same time if I wanted.
I'm sure you do.
Okay, no, it gave me time to decide which one I was going to read next. So I'm going to go with the other one. I'm going to go with the other one that I know you guys are probably going to what the hey on me. You know, the first X-Men movie, and this is one that's gonna catch most people off guard. The Toadstorm fight scene, the first half of it, when he traps her in the elevator, he takes the piece of stick holding the doors open, flips it, and he poses. And in that pose, it was a nod to him playing Darth Maul. I was the only one in the theater that caught that. I'm like, yeah.
Do what now?
It was a cool moment. Why would I be?
It was
with that?
In which one?
First X-Men movie.
Oh yeah. Huh?
Yeah. When he traps Storm in the elevator, and then he flips the stick and he poses with it. It was the pose was exactly something he had done as Darth Maul.
Yes.
And that was one of the, I did the and I was the only one in the theater that caught it.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Would you say it totally was?
I don't know if I caught at the time when I watched it as a kid. I don't know if I caught the Darth Maul thing, but I thought the scene was cool. That's what I took away from it.
I was a Ray Park fan when I saw him as Darth Maul. And you know what? That leads me into another one really nicely. That's a great segue. The Phantom Menace. The Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan fight. Just even as soon as you see them face off, I had that. Do it.
When he ignited that second side of the lightsaber, I was like, "Oh shit!
Oh yeah!
It's about to get real."
Lit up the second one. I'm like, it's on.
Yep.
The whole thing was great right up until they cut him in half. Still not happy about that.
He was slipping.
That shit was stupid.
And then they brought him back and killed him with a stab to the stomach.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
While I'm on that, the Clone Wars, the second movie, the Yoda fight scene, the moment Yoda lights up that lightsaber, that was awesome. I hell yeah as soon as I did that.
Yeah, one of the few good moments in those prequels.
I thought the better moment. I thought the better moment was when he light up when he walked in with the cane real slow and fought Dooku.
Yeah.
Oh that's the scene I'm talking about, where he walks in and he's talking, and then he lights up the lightsaber.
Yeah.
That was just an awesome.
Wait, Danny, are you talking about in number 3 when he walked in, or because you said the better moment?
Dooku.
I thought she was talking about when he fought Sidious.
No.
No. Yeah, she talking about episode 2, like at the end.
Yeah. The Dooku moment was cool. Yeah.
And it was made better because Dooku had just defeated Anakin and Kenobi with ease.
Yeah. And for just thinking how long fans had been watching Yoda and had been wanting to see him fight, to see what he does.
Yeah, that was an awesome moment.
Mm-hmm.
I came into Star Wars. I came into Star Wars late, but even for me, that was a hell yeah moment.
It was great. Yeah.
Stepping back to X-Men, I'm going to go with X2, the very beginning Nightcrawler scene.
Mm-hmm.
In the White House.
Yep.
Yeah, still one of the best openings in comic book movie history.
Yeah.
That's the best I have ever seen a display of Nightcrawler's powers. Period.
Yep.
That was beautiful how they did that.
It was very comic book like too.
It was better than the comic books, I dare say. It was just because in the comic books you can't get the flow like they showed in that scene.
That's true. I mean, it's panel to panel. You get the idea of the movement, but when you see it, it's a totally different thing. That was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I like that was definitely cool. I wish Nightcrawler would have looked more like he does in the comic books, because in the comic books he looked kind of sinister. So
he had his moments.
Yeah.
My final two. Justice League. I'm waiting for the groans. In the fight scene, in the scene where they're all fighting off against him, I'm going to go very specific. And Sean, forgive me for this one. It's the Flash versus Superman. As soon as he starts kicking up the Flash, I'm a Flash fan. Even though he was not my favorite Flash, I loved him charging up. But when Superman starts turning his head, and you see that look in his face, that was for me both a hell yeah and oh fuck.
Yeah, it was a good moment. And for the record, I enjoyed that movie, even though it's not perfect.
I liked it. It just
and then we can go all day on the flaws and stuff.
Yeah. I didn't mind it. I mean,
it had some issues, but yeah, I'm with you. I like it. I will always be a DC girl at heart.
Oh yeah.
That was my first love when it comes to comic books. And if I had to narrow it down, and again, this goes to a first love from the newer Star Trek movies, Into Darkness. I'm a Star Trek fan. I was raised at Vulcan. My favorite joke. I was tracking the movie as soon as they mentioned that they were making the sequel. And the entire time, even after it came out, they were saying, "Oh no, Benedict Cumberbatch is playing this character, playing this guy. This is the name of the character." But every real fan knew, like, no, come on, admit it, he's Khan. And the moment he said it, my name, God, yeah.
I
was surprised by that because
I love
that research
movie.
on that movie.
I like the way
they.
But I'm going to tell you what, it was lackluster writing when they basically just switched Kirk and Khan at the end.
Honestly, I think that worked out better.
Not like when they reverse. You
For,
mean
for that
Spock
movie.
and
For that
Kirk?
movie.
Maybe, but I saw it coming from a mile away, and I was like, "What the hell are they doing?"
Well, I honestly, like, for me as a Star Trek fan, like, what I like about the newer films is that they have a lot more action. I mean, I never watched Star Trek for the action. I watched it for the intellectual properties that are in it. But at the same time, I am more of an action fan, so those were the elements that I appreciated about the newer films.
I like when they reverse how in Star Trek 2, I think it was, wherein Spock sacrificed himself for the ship. They did the same thing this time with Kirk sacrificed himself for the ship. I thought that was kind of smooth how they played. Kind of.
I saw it coming, and I just said, "That's just can't you come up with something new rather than just switching parts?"
I think it was paying homage.
It.
It was
I hear you. I hear you, Chris. Yeah.
But I don't hate those movies like some people.
There was a lot of aspects in both those movies that were truly paying homage to the original ones.
Yeah. And here's the way that I make this make sense. People don't understand this when they complain about Star Trek, but the fact of Star Trek is there are like 5,000 different timelines going on. So while this movie may have pissed people off, the fact of the matter is you just say, listen, that's a different timeline. Same crew, different timeline. So it happens differently.
There's only that one moment in the first one that I didn't like was when the Vulcans were bullying young Spock. That shit was stupid. I'm like, there's no fucking way that would happen.
Because they don't bully. That's not the way they are.
They reminded me of humans. I'm like, there's no fucking way that would happen.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. No. But I was okay. I mean, I didn't like that they blew up Vulcan, but I was okay. All right. I got your point. I don't hate those movies like some people do. And Terrence, like you said, there's a lot of action going on in those compared to some of the other stuff. And yeah, I love it though. Yeah.
I love the movies. You know what? They got Leonard Nimoy's approval on that one. And that for me, that's enough.
Yep.
And anyone who will say that Carl Urban was awful, I will fight you to the death on that one.
No.
Straight up. Because Leonard Nimoy cried when he saw Carl Urban's performance because he reminded him so much of DeForest Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a fanboy.
I don't think he was good as DeForest Kelly, but he was okay.
No, I think he did well too.
I don't think any of the new ones.
He is an original fanboy, so he played that beautifully. That first scene when he steps into the ship.
I will say that I don't think any of them are as good as the originals, but they're damn good.
Yeah, they did a good job.
He did a really good job of honoring that character as a fan would.
That's a good list, Mads. Good list. I'm gonna go, and all of mine are Marvel or sci-fi related. I'm gonna do my honorable mentions first. Quicksilver in the mansion, saving the at the X-Men mansion. That is awesome. I love the song "Sweet Dreams." He's going in there saving the kids one by one. That's one of my favorite.
Which one was that again, Danny? Where that was playing? Because
Quicksilver goes into the X-Men mansion when it's blowing up.
Apocalypse.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's actually, to me, one of the best moments in that movie. Like I like the movie, but I like it because it was ambitious, but they fell short though. But
Quicksilver was a great character. He was fabulous in definitely in the first two movies. They kind of underplayed him in
the last one in X-Men Dark Phoenix. They did. Another one of my movies, Dracula Untold, when he finally had to bite his wife to save his son. He really embraced being Dracula. That was all hell shit about to happen now. Star Trek 3 when Spock died. Well, 2 when Spock dies. I'm like, this ain't good. Did not see it coming. So I agree with Chris. I'm gonna take one from Stieg when Unicron made Megatron into Galvatron, and he went back and killed Starscream. I was cheering in the stand, and that by the way was Leonard Nimoy that played Galvatron. So that was even better. And then honorable mention is Megalodon. When the Megalodon is killing everybody, then the bigger Megalodon kills that one. So I was like, oh shit, what the hell? So those were my honorable mentions. All right. My number 10 is when Thor chops off Thanos' head in the first few minutes of Endgame. I'm like, oh, the movie's over. What the hell gonna happen? That was over shit for me.
Well,
The first,
Danny, question for you: was that a good old shit or a bad old shit?
I was like, oh shit, what the hell gonna happen? Because they just killed a bad guy.
Right.
So,
yeah, I hated that moment.
Yeah. My number 9 was when Iron Man suited up for the first time and went on the mission, and they showed him kind of like in the cartoon putting on the pieces with his machine, and they're playing that music. Dun 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 dun. I was cheering for that.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Number 8 was when the Wonder Woman comes in and helps Batman, Superman fight Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was sick.
Yep,
Yeah,
that was hot right there.
Yeah.
The next one, man, is when Aquaman fights Ocean Master, the last scene, and he starts twirling that damn trident.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that shit
that was
hot.
fire. Yeah.
Yep.
So I almost mentioned that one too. Yeah.
Yep. This next one, boy, I just saw this about 2 nights ago. When Vision and Scarlet Witch getting their ass kicked by Thanos' 2 minions, and they show the shadow, Captain America standing in the shadow, and she throw that trident at him, and he catches it.
Oh,
that shit was fire.
Danny, it was in that moment. I agree with you. It was fire, but like the other side of me, I was just slightly irritated because I'm like, that staff is supposed to cause craters, and he should have disintegrated upon catching that. That was just, you know.
I don't care. The shit was hot.
It was.
I was like, yes.
I was like, yes, but how the fuck did he do that? It was like that.
He's Captain America, man. Number 5.
If I can interrupt, thinking of Captain America Endgame, the moment he picked up that hammer, the entire theater lit up. That was awesome. All right, baby.
Number 5. Thor arrives in Wakanda with Stormbreaker. I lost my shit.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Stormbreaker ain't. I thought Mjolnir was hell, but Stormbreaker was looking kind of nice too.
Yeah, Stormbreaker is beast, man. I wish Beta Ray Bill would have had that, but you know.
Oh, they're supposedly still gonna. There's a lot of talk going on that that might actually happen in the next one.
God, I hope he don't. I like Stormbreaker and Thor's hand, but that's here nor there.
I want to see them team up. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Well, they might.
Number 4 is when Bane breaks Batman's back. I was like, what the hell? This shit here ain't supposed to happen.
Were you cheering for it?
Man, I was pissed off.
Did you say
your friend.
You think darkness is your ally.
I was like, man, who wrote this shit? I ain't want to see this.
Man, Daddy, you would be with the opposite. You were like, no. I was like, yes. Right out of the comics. Excellent.
I can't lie. As soon as they mentioned that it was Ross's daughter, which I was hoping for. Yeah, I celebrated on that one. I won't lie.
It wouldn't have been so bad if they let Batman have a chance. But man, he was just like, bitch, please, that ain't nothing. I mean, everything he was trying, and then the way they had Catwoman looking all sad and pitiful, like, oh god, man, that shit was pissing me off.
He snatched my boy out of the darkness. He grabbed him out of the dark.
See, that ain't even real. How can Batman go up against all these gods and defeat them, and a mere mortal breaks his back in less than 3 minutes?
Again,
because in the comics, Bane breaks his back and tosses him in a shallow grave. Yeah, so
I know, but I didn't like the shit. Just because it's canon don't mean I got to like it. I did not like that shit. I'm agree with Maz. Number 3 is when Superman is fighting the Justice League and he starts tracking the Flash running. I'm like, that shit is hot. Because last time I checked, Flash supposed to be faster than Superman, but Superman was like, nah.
How many races have they had?
I don't know.
Many.
Yeah.
They have had easily a dozen, if not more, over the entire timeline.
And also when he caught Wonder Woman's lasso, man, and pulled her towards him, and headbutt her and shit. So all that shit was tight.
Yeah.
I had to be a fan of Superman that time. I can't believe I'm saying that.
I I walked into that movie knowing, like even knowing in that scene that Superman is as fast as Flash.
Well, according to what I can find really quick, they've had a total of 5 races, 3 that Barry has won, 0 that he's lost, and 2 they've tied.
Yeah.
And
So
those ties were allowed by the Flash, by the way.
Actually, they recently put out, and it is on my channel, that this was a few months back, that Superman was faster, and I called shenanigans on that one.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
In the Silver Age, Flash is faster.
They will never, and I said in my video, and I'll say it here, they will never, let me actually go on video for this one, they will never have a definitive answer until they do it off-world. Where, in a uninhabited planet where Superman can fully let loose.
Mm-hmm. Well, can we agree that maybe
it doesn't matter where they are, because the Speed Force has allowed the Speedster to do incredible things no matter where they are in the universe.
Terrence, I'm a Flash fan. I will always be Team Flash when it comes to that fight.
I am Team Facts. That's what I am.
I don't really like any of them.
What?
Look at that. Stig has to go.
I'm curious to see how fast he's going to be on the show when he builds his artificial Speed Force.
Danny, we'll have to get into that, because like what will happen is he'll start off fine and he'll have to build himself up in the way that he started with the original Speed Force. Is how it has to work.
We'll talk about that on Wednesday. Remind me to do that. Remind me to do that. All right. Good. Number 2. When Captain America said "Avengers Assemble," I was like, "Oh yeah." It only took 10 years for him to say it, but in that particular time, with him, the Falcon, when he's saying "to your left," the culmination of him saying "Avengers Assemble," the theater I was in lost their damn mind, and everybody was standing up and cheering. So that was a cool moment. Yep. And number 1, and what Matt said earlier, is when Cap caught Mjolnir against Thanos. If I would have died right there, I'd have been a happy man, because I was like, this shit here ain't supposed to happen, but it's happening, and I can't rewind it, so I gotta wait till this shit come out on video or come pay $10 to see it again.
Yeah, I agree.
I kid you not. I said I knew it just the same time Thor did, because I kept going back to watching that scene where they were all trying to pick it up, and you see as it wiggles, and knowing Cap, there was no question he would have been going through his head, wait a minute, I can't do this. That he said that while he was drunk. I can't take away his kingdom from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I can see him. I can see
comics though. So
I can see him picking up, but I didn't think he could make it come to his hand like that. But when he made it come to his hand, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, in the lore
that's also why I love that they didn't have Black Widow pick it up, because she can pick it up too.
The only thing I wish was that instead of 20 seconds of him whipping Thanos, I wish it would have been like a full minute, because he was doing some shit with that hammer that Thor wasn't even doing, and Thor had both hammers. So I think with Captain America fighting, well, shit, Thor's a guy. So, but anyway, Captain America fighting style, man, he was hell for the 20 seconds. Boy, he was hell
with the shield and with Mjolnir. Shoot, if I could find a poster of that would go right up on my wall.
You see,
the popcorn guy asked me what would have been better than that, and I said if Hulk would have did it, because Hulk does it in the comics, and when Hulk does it, man, that is hell.
Try with a hammer. He Hulk lifts.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
There's several of them that have done it.
Yeah.
But the way that they designed it,
what is it, Terrence? 10 that's done it.
Yeah, it's about 10 or so.
Yeah.
See, but the way that they designed it in the movie universe of Marvel, they designed it for Captain America to do it, because they basically said that only that person who's worthy of it can do it. And while there may be very many people that in the movies could have been worthy of it, that was designed for him to be the one. And you knew when they did it that this was all coming to the end.
In the case of the Hulk, it wasn't that he was worthy, it's just that he was that strong. So the scene in the first Avengers when he was struggling to pick it up, Me and my friends, we lost our mind because we thought he was going to pick it up and throw it at Thor.
But again, that's what I'm saying. In the movie universe, it's designed for only Captain America to eventually do it.
Yeah, them doing that has been the bane of my existence as a supernatural fan.
You say that,
being
but then
honest.
you say that, Chris, but then I point to when Vision lifted the hammer, and he is an artificial intelligence, so he doesn't have any sort of emotional anything which allowed him to lift it.
But I think what it is in that case, what you're going on is that exactly artificial intelligence. It's calculating exactly how much pressure or something, which again goes against the Hulk not being able to do it. I understand the issues with it, but it was designed.
It's all there for a reason. Any moment that they specifically focus on in the MCU was always an Easter egg, which they might cover later down the line.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Stig?
About people lifting the hammer?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Norwegian, so it's cultural appropriation.
Amen, Stig. I don't use that word a lot, but amen.
Get your own hammer, Yanks.
That's right. Like, stop fucking with my hammer.
I think all the lists are good. Do we have any before we go? We've been on 1 hour and 37 minutes. About to wrap it up.
What the hell is Sean? Wasn't he?
I don't know. He dropped again, and
he said he was sleepy. He got to go.
Oh yeah, he probably got his prescription for Ambien today. That's possible.
Do we have? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Anytime he if he loses or if his prescription runs out, the first time he goes back to taking it, and it hits him quick and fast. So
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Every sleeping pill that they've tried to prescribe me, it has the opposite effect.
Yeah, it's bad news for me too. I have tons of trouble trying to sleep. But
Chris, I might recommend that you clear your mind and you will be able to sleep.
I do try to do that, but it's a difficult thing. There's a lot of useless crap up there.
I can teach you certain forms of meditation to where you will be at peace enough to sleep properly.
You know, Terrence, I would love to hear that one day.
Will one of those pieces of wisdom be your fist on the top of my head to put me out?
No. That's if I'm trying to knock you out or put you in a coma or kill you. But I'm talking about something more reasonable that you can
use a hammer.
How about again cultural appropriation?
Something more reasonable where you can take throughout the rest of your life and maybe pass it on to other humans that are suffering from the same problems.
Okay. Well, I would love to hear it. But we'll do that for another day.
Do you have any more honorable mentions from anybody? Any genre? It don't have to be particularly.
I might have had one. What was it?
I got a quick one. Have y'all seen the what's the movie? Magnificent Seven.
Yep.
That first scene when Denzel Washington comes in the bar. Oh my god, that shit was fire, buddy.
I agree.
Denzel Washington has never done a bad performance.
No.
He's
acting is in his.
Yeah, rock solid.
Yeah, acting is in his blood, Steve.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna know another one too. Man on Fire. When he puts that bomb in that man's butt. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one. Unforgiven, when Clint Eastwood snaps at the end.
Yep. That was awesome.
Hold on, I gotta go find all my notes now.
A real old one too is a Fistful of Dollars.
Nice.
And he said, when the man with the 45 meets the man with the rifle.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Ramon? Now there ain't no way he put that bullet in there, spin the chamber, and know that bullet is right there on the barrel. There is no way he's that damn good.
I remember one of them, and I left it out because I was like, I don't know, but I think it's a good scene from a sci-fi movie. Sarah Connors in the first Terminator. You're terminated, fucker. when she
Oh,
smashes the
yeah.
Terminator. I'm sorry, that's a badass moment. I don't know if I'd call that an OMG moment, but
No, it is, Chris, because she earned that moment. She was
that's the
struggling
moment
the
she
whole movie,
becomes.
and she deserved to say that.
That's
Yeah,
the moment
and,
she becomes Sarah Connor.
on that note, Sigourney Weaver, get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah, that's
Right.
another good
Yeah.
Chills. Yeah.
one.
For me, there's a number of really good moments in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, two more I can think of.
I did not like that movie.
The Extraordinary Gentleman.
I didn't like that movie. I don't think it's bad. I just didn't like it at all.
Oh,
so there's older movie, but even today it stands up really well, and the remastered version's excellent. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, when they're communicating with the mothership, that scene of the synthesizer playing, and just when it goes like do do do, boom boom, it just blows out every glass in the whole that's pretty kick-ass. Then the Brontosaurus scene from Jurassic Park could be counted in there, because I do remember the first time I saw that, it was like, wow. And even today it holds up.
Yeah.
I got a real old. We talked about this yesterday, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
The Last Starfighter.
Yes,
when he did the Death Blossom.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, that was a good one. Remember that, Terrence?
And then Planet of the Apes, the end of it, finding the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a great movie.
Which one?
The first one. Planet of the Apes.
Talking about the very first
the original,
the remake with Mark Wahlberg.
No, the original. I haven't seen all the way through the remake. Do they have the Statue of Liberty at the end?
Yeah, he goes to a different planet, and everything is damn apes and shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the original.
It shows Thaddeus on the face of the Abraham Lincoln statue.
Oh, okay. So it's a little different.
Though thinking of Planet of the Apes, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
when he says no.
Yeah.
Ooh,
mm-hmm.
Sorry, baby.
The chest burster alien scene when he goes and he starts eating everything in sight, and he's like, oh, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry. And then, dude, wow, that even to this day is like, holy crap.
I got one for you, Danny. This is actually one of my all-time favorite scenes in anything entertainment. It was when Tony Montana, when he went to the chick and he was like, come with me, pack your things. Frank is finished. And then when he went out on the balcony, he looked up at the blimp and it said, the world is yours. Like, to me, that was just so epic, because it was in that moment that the character knew, I have conquered so much shit and I'm about to quickly rise to the top. And it's all based off of how much I want it and how much I'm going to take for myself. And that gave me chills as a child, because I was like, how can I apply this to my life? And
Stieg, I have one I'm surprised you or I didn't have, and I totally forgot.
I have one too.
All right. I'll let you say yours first, Stieg, since I've talked a lot.
Well, it's the whole end sequence of Last of the Mohicans.
Ooh, wow.
As soon as the fiddle starts playing, there's no more dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just a whole musical scene. Full of action, and main characters dying.
I can't remember that.
Oh no, it's
awesome. It's probably one of the best movie moments ever made.
Yeah. Another OMG moment that I'm surprised I didn't think about until just now. Tears in Rain, the end of Blade Runner. That whole
monologue.
That whole monologue he says is just it's profound. It's amazing. And then when you stop and you think of the context of the movie, here is a artificial life form who has life figured out more than everybody else there.
Yeah. Exactly, Chris. That is exactly what I was going to say. You have an AI that's more human than humans themselves.
And that was the whole, I mean, and truthfully, if you've ever read the book and the books that Philip K. Dick, the book is nothing like the movie, and it's really kind of crazy. But the emulation of the book is basically, simply put, that are you human or are you artificial? and it's hard to tell for Deckard because his whole life is just kind of it's moving. It's just I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm programmed to do this, and so that's kind of how the culmination in the movie gives light to the book, is that's where Deckard realizes, wow, I was after this thing to kill it the whole time, and yet it's more human than even I am.
See, that's the problem, Chris. Like when I saw that as a kid, like I don't know, I must have been like 13, whatever. But like I noticed that you have this human that's going to track down these AIs, and all they're trying to do is get more life. They want more life, and they seem to care about it more than humans. Humans just seem to take a lot of stuff for granted. And you got this Deckard guy. He seems to be very AI in the sense that, okay, here's your job. This is what you do. He doesn't question it. He's very robotic in the way that he thinks and moves through life. But these AIs are exhibiting more emotions than him. And it was at the end of the movie, after he gave that speech, that he realized, like, I'm a piece of shit. I didn't even think about doing this before I did it.
Yeah.
And he's actually also a replicant himself.
Well, okay, we can get into that conversation later. Some people say he is. Some people say that.
Harrison Ford and Ridley Scott have both said it now.
They've said it, but then they asked Philip K. Dick, and he's the guy that created the whole concept, and he said, no, he's not. It's a question of who is... Androids aren't even technically artificial life forms in the original book. They are just lifeless, soulless humans who just do what they're told to do. So when they took it and they did what they did in the movie, it was kind of and then they go in, okay, fine. If he's a replicant, they totally destroy that in the second one.
No, because that's the point of that one, is two replicants having had a baby.
No, because again, human and machine. That's exactly what Wallace says.
I'm not familiar with what you guys are talking about in that regard, but what I do know is that I enjoyed the movie, and I was kind of looking at it that way as a child and gathering what I could see, and then what was explained to me by the adults around me. Like, what did you think? How do you feel about the replicants and Harrison Ford's character? I was like, Harrison Ford's character is cool, but for some reason, the AIs are much more interesting, and they're not even human. So
yeah.
Oh, I have a really what the F moment. When that one grossed me out too. It's from the remake of Four Weddings and a Funeral. Danny Glover's character is in a wheelchair, and he has an upset stomach. So Tracy Morgan and a couple of others has to help him onto the toilet. And Tracy Morgan's hand gets caught under Danny Glover in the toilet bowl.
Oh my Lord.
Oh,
he screams like a girl.
That sounds like ass whipping moment instead of what the fuck moment.
Oh, I was laughing so hard I cried.
I'm gonna tell you, was another one too that was funny. Bridesmaid, when they got hold of that bad food, and she got to sit on the sink to use the bathroom. Oh my God, I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah,
that was funny. Terrence, you might enjoy this one too. The Last Dragon.
Oh yeah,
Leroy.
Man, Danny, you remember what I told you about how many times I heard that shit when I was in high school? Man.
I have one for Terrence. Actually, it's a movie called Lionheart with Van Damme.
Oh yeah,
nice.
The ending when
man, that man whipped his ass to death, buddy. Ain't no way.
Yeah, and he's finally allowed to fight and not lose, and he goes like wrong bet, and then he beats the hell out of the big guy. That was I was cheering when I was a kid.
Steve,
Have you seen Blood and Bones, Steve?
Blood and Bones. Is that with Michael J. White?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Man, he comes out of prison. In that prison scene, they're trying to stab him in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he take that shirt. He take that shirt out that sink, and man, he go to whipping their ass like damn.
Wasn't he in Unforgiven? No, sorry. What is it called?
Undisputed 2?
Yeah, Undisputed 2.
Yeah.
Awesome.
With him and Boyka.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, first of all, like in that beginning scene that Danny was talking about, when he took off his shirt, it was like, okay, that is like, I don't know how much muscle that is, but that's like, I feel like if they all attack him, they're gonna break
Nah,
their own limbs. Like,
man, I would have said, man, that's Black He-Man. That's what I would have said.
yeah,
That's
that's you should back up. And then when you
that's like
see
a look
how
like
fast
He-Man.
he is,
Yeah,
yeah,
he is
it's like
fast
he
and
is
muscular.
fast as fuck for being that big. And like I understand too, like because since I started off really small, like I understand the progression of what weight can do when it comes to your movements, how it will allow you to hit harder, but it does make you slower if you don't train the right way. So for him to be that big, I'm like, that is crazy impressive for him to be like that.
Would you agree if I said he would make a good Blade?
Yeah, yeah. When he was younger, like
I think
that was
I think
actually
he
something
make a
I thought
better
about.
Black Panther.
I can see that too. I can see that too. I actually thought about in I think it was eighth grade. I thought about him being not only Blade but Black Panther as well. And me and my friends, we all agreed that either one of those would
Yeah.
be fine.
Like right now, he's gotten a little heavy. If he could get back like he was in Blood and Bone,
Bite your tongue.
maybe drop
Bite your-
about 20 or 30 pounds. No, he's kind of
Yeah.
heavy now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
he's
I'm getting his daily updates on YouTube. No, he is.
Well, the times I've
well. I
seen
mean,
him,
he needs
he's
to
heavy in
like
his face.
yeah. If he like for him to be a Blade or Black Panther, he would have to drop about either 15 to 20 pounds, and then he'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's supposed to wear armor as well, right?
Mhm.
Exactly.
If you're already big, you're gonna look like a big lump.
Exactly. You
Wearing
still need
armor.
to.
Hey,
You're
Steve.
supposed to be buff, but you're not supposed to be overly buff to where it exceeds the suit and what the character is supposed to be.
Hey, Steve, I
Yeah.
put in the private chat some stuff for you to look at.
There's a wall of text.
Yes, read.
Danny, I got a moment for you.
No.
No.
This is now when I went to see this movie, I think this was one of the very, very few movies where I was rolling deep. There had to be at least 14 of us, and this was, I want to say maybe I was a senior in high school, and I think that might have been the first R-rated movie that I went to see on my own without any sort of relatives. Was 300. We went and we had to stand in a line that was all the way from the front down the staircase. We all went and we took up an entire row and a couple more seats. And the whole movie was lit. We were just cheering our asses off. It was just a theater full of testosterone and
What movie was this?
300.
My check flick.
300.
So yeah, 300.
Yeah.
Like the end scene, like near the end when Dilios, like when he this is at the point where he had lost his eye, and then he wraps his head with the towel, and then Leonidas is like, I hope that scratch hasn't made you useless. He's like, hardly, my lord. It's only an eye. The gods saw fit to grace me with a spare. I was like, I have never in my fucking life, like I have never met any dude as tough as these dudes in this movie. And this includes like, because even the people that trained me and taught me martial arts, like when they fight, they're like the most graceful hack shit that you will see. They seem like they come out of video games. They can do shit that I can't even do. However, when you talk to them though, they're very much like a regular, typical human kind of stuff. You would never guess that they're that badass. They don't really operate in the way that you see the Spartans in terms of their mentality. It just doesn't.
Let me ask you this, Terrence. Did you like the second one?
Oh, I did. Yeah, Rise of the Empire with the Mysticles.
The other guy, man, he was hell too, boy.
Yeah, he was, because in history they did the whole naval battle, which took out a lot of Persians and stuff. Like, I was immersed in that whole entire layer of history, because to me and to many others, whether it be historians that you talk to, they're the most baddest fucking warriors that have ever existed. Period.
Yeah.
Because of the way that they think.
Except for the Vikings.
And I seriously hope you had the same reaction I did when they made it look like that he was going to surrender.
You talking about Leonidas?
Yes. in that scene where they made it look like he was surrendering, my girlfriend had to hold me down. I kid you not.
When you turn his back and he said, "I can't bend my leg. I got some problems with
No,
my knee."
in that scene when he's getting ready to throw the spear and he gets down and he puts his sword down. He takes his shield off, and the helmet. And
I think she's talking about the scene where when Eviates, that fucking hunchback traitor, when he was like, "May you live forever," and he was like, "Leonidas, your spear," like, put it on the ground, and that's when it looked like he was surrendering.
Yes.
Only for him to get up and toss that spear and hit Xerxes in the face, and Xerxes like, "Oh shit!"
They played it up like he was going to he was going to give in, and being somebody who studied heavy in history and all that, because this stuff is entertaining as shit for me.
I wish you would have killed them old damn witches on that top of that damn mountain. Them fuckers was pissing me off too.
Yeah.
I got so angry in that one scene though.
Hey, Danny.
I mean, the thing is, it's based on the 300 graphic. Oh, you got to go, Chris?
Yeah, I got to get going. I got work tomorrow pretty early. So, guys, great time with you guys as usual.
Always, Chris. Yeah.
And for everybody still watching, we'll let you know if the chaos list will be over on my channel or whatever. I don't know. We'll find out. I know. I have some stuff ready for it, so we probably just plan for my channel. If something changes, we'll jump over and do it on Sean's channel if we have to. So,
all right, that'll work.
All right, take it easy. All right,
take care. All
right, bye, guys.
Bye.
But yeah, Danny, I was saying that the movie is based on the 300 graphic novel, but obviously they took from history. Like Leonidas, he never would have surrendered. So when he was doing that, whether it be in the context of the graphic novel or history, I'm like, there's no way he surrendered. Like even in history, there were a couple of Spartans that were actually considering taking up Xerxes' offer until Leonidas told them to stop being bitches, that's not an option, and they quickly adjusted their behavior. But Leonidas was very much against surrendering to the Persians. That was not a fucking option.
What was you saying, Stig? You said you had another one?
Yeah. Near the end of the first Conan movie, when all the bad guys are riding closer and closer to Conan and his friends, and he gives
up. About the one with James Earl Jones to turn to the snake.
Yeah. When Conan gives that little battle speech to his god he's never prayed to before.
Crom.
Right.
Yeah, and then he just ends it with, if you're not listening, then to hell with you.
I'll do it myself.
Fighting. Yeah, that's epic.
Yeah. Stig, I agree
that's
epic.
Okay, finish up. If it's connecting.
What's wrong?
If he's responding back to Stig, yeah, go for it. I just got something I want to read from the chat because he's the excellent point.
I was saying that Stig, I agree that's epic because I'm not a praying man myself, and I found myself saying similar things. So for me, it's always like really chilling to hear fictional characters do or say similar things that I have done myself.
Yeah.
Oh, but Jason Miller brought up an excellent one. The end of The Usual Suspects.
Never saw that.
Huh?
Oh. I know the ending, but I'm not going to say it because Danny hasn't seen it. And
I probably won't watch it. Let me know when it came out.
And 90s, I think.
Yeah.
In the 90s?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to watch it, so you can go ahead and tell me what the hell it is.
Yeah, I've seen it once, but yeah.
It's absolutely worth the watch, though.
Okay. I may, if I'm strumming through Netflix, I'm going to have plenty of time according to what they say today on the news, so.
Yeah, the ending is actually one of the best endings in movie history, in my opinion.
I have one that, to me, I said this last night on the stream. My all-time favorite movie is The Patriot. Whenever that comes on TV, I'm drawn into it.
The one with Mel Gibson?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
And that damn, I can't think of the bad guy.
Jason Isaacs.
Yes. That sucker, boy. He was just like yin to the yang.
That first scene Mel Gibson fights in with the tomahawks.
Yep.
Yeah.
To save his son. and say Heath Ledger. Yeah.
Holy shit! It just explodes into action.
I
like A Knight's Tale too. Speaking of Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Man, Danny, I have said many times for a lot of different humans that like family be making people soft, but in that Patriot movie, that never crossed my mind because that dude is a fucking savage. I was like, hell nah, ain't nothing soft about this man.
I ain't joking, buddy. See your son killed in front of you by the same man. Oh my God, yeah, he had to die.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, you even look at my kid the wrong way. I'm gonna hurt you.
Now see, here's the thing. Like, I'm not a parent, but I've definitely heard people with kids, say that if anything happens to my child, this, and that. But it really takes a certain kind of person to do what we saw in the Patriot, to where their immediate response is to go out and off those people. I'm not talking about they sit down or they walk back and forth in their house and then maybe they get over it. I'm talking about your immediate go out and kill.
Yeah, he knew he had to do it. He already lost one son. He knew the other guy was going to kill that second. So he's like, this is not an option.
Yeah, and he was a veteran too from a previous conflict. Yeah. So he was battle hardened and he knew what would happen if it didn't do what it did.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
What's the one?
But back in those days, people were actually more badass.
I agree. Humans are soft as fuck nowadays. It's kind of irritating. Yeah.
What's the one where it was three of them? It was two guys and a girl, and they shot the girl in the river. It's like the house on the end of the street or something. And then they came and kidnapped, like her parents was like holding her parents hostage. Mm-hmm. Her dad was a doctor.
Yeah.
And she was like a swimmer or something. So she swam back home and they brought her back, got her help and stuff. And then the daddy and the mom team up and they killed the three people. And the last guy, man, he put his head in a damn microwave.
Yeah.
Man, that movie was awesome.
Yeah.
He put something that made him he could still feel and hear, but he couldn't move. He put his head in a damn microwave and cut that shit on.
Wow, that's crispy.
Very crispy.
Or rather, well done.
Yeah, definitely.
He was too hot-headed. Okay, I'll stop.
Danny, I had this actually got asked to me like a fair number of times actually. The whole like, Terrence, who would you be willing to kill for, as far as people you care about? I'm like, oh well, that's a very tiny list, but it would have to be that that person is murdered, because the difference between me and many others is that I already don't care about humans, so there's no conflict in terms of if I make a decision to take some motherfucker's life that I would have to sit there and debate it. There's no sort of rules or religion that I'm controlled by, so it really would have to take that this particular human is that important to me that if you do something, automatic, you die.
So the threat of jail time and sitting in the electric chair, gas chamber, none of that even makes you blink?
Nope. Because see, here's the thing, Danny. The reason why I say no and how quickly I said that is because whenever I've decided to do something, everything else doesn't matter. And if I think about that for the tiniest second, that's how you get that human shit of hesitating and talking to people. And I don't like that crap. It's counterproductive.
Okay, well, you're not going to like me much because I like being able to get up at 2 or 3 o'clock if I want to and go to my refrigerator and fix me a sandwich or grab something to drink. If I want to watch TV, when you do certain stupid stuff that you don't think about, then you're going to have all those freedoms taken away from you. And not to mention me looking like I am in the world we live in, I'll probably be in some kind of maximum prison fighting to save my booty. So them the options that I'm not going to face. So Danny, I'll write you whenever you decide to go in there. But
Danny,
I'm staying out here.
Number one, you're my friend, so there is no I'm not going to like you.
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about whoever you decide to take out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whoever you decide to take out, the consequences is more than what my butt can pay for. So I'll just go ahead and bite my tongue. I'll
Well,
be
here's the thing. Here's the thing, Danny. They got to take me in first. So
okay.
like there is no like, man, he has a badge. Like I will fucking snap their shit up until they take me away if I'm pissed. Like I don't care if they're cops or not.
Okay. Let me say this. Parents, I believe you are a bad man. I believe that if a cop or anybody face you one on one, they're gonna have their hands full. But my friend, there are some weaponry out here that could touch any one of our asses so quick, so fast, so hard, and you won't even see it coming.
You're right. And you're
until
right.
you wake up in wherever place you believe in afterlife, you go, damn, that motherfucker wasn't playing, was it? That's how serious it is.
You are 100% right, Danny. I'm not even gonna debate you on that. However, I don't know. I've been in a situation where I've had cops point guns at my head and stuff like that, and it never twitched my needle any sort of way. If anything, if I'm gonna be honest, Mister, I'm usually in control. Stuff like that kind of pissed me off. And the only thing that was crossing my mind is that they need to die because they're threatening my existence. I'm just being honest with you. It wasn't like, oh man, I should stand down. Those are human authority figures. Like I didn't give a shit about that. I'm like, this human is pointing a gun at me instead of just talking to me. That's all he has to do. Why they got to point the guns? And of course they pointed the guns because I guess they felt threatened. But I'm just like, yo, you don't think you should talk to me? You got to just pull the guns on me? That's how you treat
bro.
people?
We live in a world now, bro. I hear what you're saying, and I'm on both sides because I have a son that looks like me, and I have grandchildren that looks like Mad. So I have two totally different conversations that I have with my boys. One, I say, look, you better shut the fuck up and do what you told if you want to come home. The other two, not so much. So I know what you're saying, but I'm a realist. I know how some people are, and if you look a certain way, you're in a certain situation, it can end up bad. So that's all I'm saying.
You're 100% right, Danny. And I am black, so that does make a difference. They're gonna blow my ass away. I'm surprised I'm not dead yet. Yeah.
Be careful, my friend.
What if someone had the only copy of the Snyder Cut and destroyed it in front of your eyes?
Oh, I'd be pissed.
That human
I am suddenly not feeling safe being on top of Stig right now. So just saying.
I'd be so pissed. Man. Oh, I'd be pissed.
Danny, you remember them cells that you were talking about?
Yeah.
I might end up in one of those.
Shoot, I turned the show off, Terrence. Leroy, playtime is over, boy.
Yeah, that's all you gotta say, Danny, and that's gonna trigger me. And that person that destroyed the Snyder Cut is done.
Man, I just watched that movie yesterday, man.
The thought of it being on the bad side of Terrence and Abu Nas. No, thank you. No.
I'm across the Atlantic. I'm safe.
I don't think that would stop either one of them.
Stig is just chilling with the lemonade, like I am so safe over here.
Just saying, for anyone who might consider messing with someone the both of them love. Just saying.
Holy shit! You know what I should do? I should I should get a Batman Superman and tamper with the cover and have it
say Snyder Cut,
and then toss it in the fireplace.
Boy.
Oh man, Stig.
I do not know this man.
Coronavirus is a pandemic.
This is the only copy of the Snyder Cut, and then just film it.
I do not know this man. We have never met before.
I was thinking of a topic. I think next Monday I'm gonna do. We're gonna rank the Transformer movies.
Ooh, including the animated one.
Sure. I know a lot of people don't like that shit. So that should be a pretty good conversation.
I have an interesting relationship with that franchise, but yeah.
Yeah, will Bumblebee included in that one, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bumblebee was good.
Okay, I've got a few movies I need to watch then.
Yeah, Bumblebee was good. The first 10 minutes of Bumblebee was awesome because.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I was like, man, that looked like Cybertron for real, and
Yeah, look like the old cartoons.
Yep.
First 10 minutes. You can even tell the robots apart.
I was like,
Yep.
You
damn.
can see who they were.
And then
Yeah. Well, those are my top two. I mean, Bumblebee and the first Transformer. So
Yeah, that's
I
a,
just don't like the way they did Galvatron in live action, man. He ain't supposed to
Mm.
be like that. That really ticked me off.
well, you guys are gonna know all the names. Like I've seen it, but I just know a couple of them, so I ain't gonna be getting into all that. But
Galvatron is the new improved model of Megatron. If you know Megatron,
yeah.
um, he was destroyed almost when he fought Optimus Prime, and then he ran
Okay.
across Unicron, and Unicron said, "Look, you gonna work for me, or I'm gonna blow your ass up." Basically, he's like, "I don't serve nobody." And he said, "Okay." He said, "No, no, I'll do it." And then that's when he reformatted and made Megatron into Galvatron, which is awesome.
I just thought about this, Danny. I wanted to run this by you because uh, like how you told me to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of my masters, Master Joe. Like I remember he told me, he was like, Terrence. He's like, I know that you carry yourself a certain way. You got a certain way of thinking that I have yet to encounter again, aside from you. However, you have to understand that you're not invincible and things can happen to you because of these humans, as you say, if they feel like they want to blow you away or whatever they're going to do. So just be careful with what you do in terms of your decisions, like who you decide to hurt or how you conduct your body language and things that you say and so on. And I remember when I was, practicing roundhouse kicks and working with my Cali sticks on a tree, that actually stopped me from training because like I had to think about that. I'm like, he's completely right about that.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. I can tell you this right now, and I've been doing this for 25 years. When I used to work traffic really hard, a lot of what mainly determined the ticket, whether or not you got a ticket or not, was your attitude in the first 10 or 15 seconds. There'd be some be like, let's give you an example. Officer, I'm sorry, I was speeding. You right, boom, boom. Then you probably gonna get a warning. Boop, boop. But you come out the mouth, man, I pay your salary. If you say that right there, your ass is getting a ticket, and I'm probably gonna load you up as hard as I can load you up. And I say that to say this is that it's just your attitude. Not all cops, and I keep preaching this. Not all police officers are bad. We got some assholes. We got some that shouldn't be in our profession. I'm 1,000% agree to that. We got some that trying to do the right thing, but
Yeah.
because of our profession, if somebody has one or two bad experiences with one, then they tend to say, well, all them suckers ain't no good. All they want to do is do this. That ain't true. So
You're right, Danny, and I have made some mistakes and stuff. Like when I was with some friends and the cops pulled us over, I was like, they were just on the whole, all right, we're just gonna talk to them. It should be fine. They pulled him over for no reason. I was like, what? Why are you pulling him over? So as the cop got out and was walking over to the side where the window and my friend's driving, um, as he rolled down the window, I was saying to my friend next to me, I'm like, so this human thinks he can pull us over for no reason. It was like, Terrence, be quiet. They're like, you gonna get us a ticket. I'm like, no, this human, he's like, and I kept raising my voice. But once they uh, all looked at me and they was like, it's not worth it, Terrence. I was like, yeah, you're right. There are some dumbass humans. I guess he doesn't deserve to die over
mm,
this.
mm.
Like, like,
Man,
but
I'm gonna say again, man, without get myself in trouble, because my people sometimes people watch this stuff. Just be careful, bro. I don't want to ever cut on something and read about Terrence. So I'm just saying, be careful, bro. It ain't worth it. Cause we got some
and
people out there that don't give a damn and will put two in you and be out next week chilling.
Yep.
You're right, and that's why I'm saying that's why I threw myself under the bus. I have exhibited all the behavior that you're not supposed to do, and this whole, and also because of the way I think is a lot of times why I can get into a situation further because of the way that I don't budge, and a lot of oftentimes in these situations with cops, they don't like me very much. They're like, this dude is not complying, or he thinks he's gonna do something or whatever, and yeah, like I understand, but I also you should also understand too that they be messing with me. Not so much recently, but in the past, they were
I
stopping
I
me a lot.
understand. I understand, bro. I can't talk on the air. We'll talk off there about that situation. I feel you 1,000%. This has been 2 hours and 15 minutes of fabulous talk. I really enjoy your conversation, Terrence, Steve, and Mads. Steve, I want you to know, in reference to that last stream we were on, that I apologize. That was not my stream. As you can see, that won't happen on my show. I'm not pointing any fingers, but I'm telling you that you're welcome anytime on my show. Just give me a shout out. You're welcome, bro. Don't ever think that you're not, and get your point across.
Oh,
Matt,
it's all
go
good.
ahead. Okay. Mads, as always, good to have you on. I don't know if you're going to be on the show tomorrow. Me and Chris got to talk
I'll
to
be
Sean.
watching. I'll be watching it later.
Yeah,
And I'm there if you guys need the backup as always.
that'll work. Wednesday, me and Terrence will be on.
Actually, Tuesdays, no. Tuesdays I'm busy. Sorry.
Okay. Wednesday, me and Terrence will be on the Equilibrium show it's usually on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but because I wasn't able to do it, it's going to be Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can join us, please do. We'll probably be talking more or less some of the same stuff. And we're going to go basically on what the chat's going to be asking us questions. And Jason Miller is going to be our guest on there. He reached out to me last week and wants to be a part of the show. So I'm going to give him the opportunity.
And you said we got 2 polls to cover, right, Danny?
Yeah. One of the polls is, let me ask Stig and Mads before we go.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Terrence is not any longer on YouTube. Had differences with his partner for whatever reason, and so he's going to say the hell with it. So I tell him no, he should do his own. And I put out a poll on my channel, and the poll was overwhelmingly in his favor of yes, he should start his own YouTube channel. What do you think?
Absolutely.
I was binge watching your channel the other day. Absolutely, you should. The content was awesome.
It's funny, man. I'm telling you. Don't let that stop you. Right. I think the poll was like 72% yes, 20% no, and like 2% I don't know the guy, whatever. So
I didn't see that poll, so it would have been higher.
Neither did I. Honestly, I didn't see it either.
Yeah, I used to put a poll up every week on my channel.
Yeah, so it would have probably been over 80%.
Easily, I would have gotten a lot of people on that too.
Yeah, I bet I watch Terrence's videos quite often and leave a comment too. I think.
So you see what I'm saying now, Terrence? Are you listening?
I am. Yes.
Are you hearing the words that coming out of our mouth?
I am. Yeah, very much.
I'll be sad if I can't binge watch your channel, darling.
You know, a Viking is telling you to do it.
Yeah, no, I understand like that. I could picture the visual. Yep. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Before we go, tell everybody where they can find you. Starting off with Mads.
Hey, Mads Mama Bear here. You can find me at Mads Mama Bear on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Instagram is where I'm going to start posting all of the various crafts I do because I can never sit still well. And nothing ever escapes me, fiddling with it. But on my YouTube on Thursday nights, this week Thursday night will be the Queen's Council. It's always a laugh, always great. Yes. Don't miss it.
Yeah, don't miss
Thursday, 9:30 Eastern.
All right, and Stig, where can they find you?
Tiny channel, not much to watch. I think it's close to 10 minutes of content now. So.
You okay? Oh goodness.
Yeah, and pretty much on all kinds of channels. So, panelists.
Steve's stuff is awesome too. Watch his stuff. Binge watch all 10 minutes worth.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for subs or stuff. I'm not really.
I know, but your top 5 lists are always hilarious.
Well, other than that, I'm on Mary Mayhem's channel. Sometimes on the Sarcastic Nerds channel. on Chris Knight's channel, Midnight's Edge After Dark, John Talks. I'm all over the place.
He's even been on the Queen's Council a couple times.
Oh yeah, that's also a lot of fun. Make sure to watch Queen's Council. It's actually great.
Mhm.
All right, and Mr. Terrence, where can the people find you? Well, where can the people soon be able to find you at?
Oh, that was going on, humans. It's Terrence. You can definitely find me on Earth. You know, I'm definitely on this planet. As far as this platform, yeah, pretty much.
Aw.
He's working on it.
Mhm.
And last but not least, I'm Danny. My channel here is Comment Chat on my YouTube. It's Comment Chats on Twitter. My show on Monday nights is a Chaotic Conversation, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know I have a show with Terrence on Sundays at 6 p.m. called Eastern Standard Time on Sundays called Equilibrium. It's a good show. Please come check us out. Come support us. Also, you'll see me on Chris Knight Show on Sundays along with Sean Stackhouse, The Rule of Three. We're trying to get 100 subscribers on the Chaos Central channel so we can get our, what they call it, some kind of tag where basically you can share, and we're going to put all of our uploads and videos on that channel. So please support us. This is the first time viewing my channel. Please hit the subscribe button. Please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I will always respond to your comments. I read my comments daily. And as always, thank you for your support. And we will see you again on next Monday. Bye.
Take care.